Alright, thank you for watching. This is going to be a video kind that I don't usually do. I don't make a lot of videos where I talk about other people. But I've been thinking about Nabeel Qureshi. Partly because I recently watched Adnan Rashid refute a Nabeel Qureshi video. And I want to say what I wish I could have said to him when he was alive. What I wish I would have had a time machine to go back and say to him in his younger days. So here's a short biography about Nabeel Qureshi. And by the way, if any of you know him personally, I am very sad about his passing. My condolences. And so Nabeel Qureshi was born in the United States of America. He's approximately of my generation, and I'm in my 40s. He was born to Muslim parents and raised a Muslim. Note, I did not say born a Muslim, because we are all born with a blank slate. Nobody is born locked into one religion. You can choose whatever you want out of your life, including changing religion from what your parents believed. Anyway, so and here's a quick little tangent. Somebody might be yelling at their electronic device right now. He was not a Muslim. He was an Ahmadiyya. Ahmadian. Which is a sect of Islam. They are Muslims. Why do I say they are Muslims? Here's why. They believe in the same Quran. They pray by saying the same words every time, and bowing down and then getting up, and bowing down and getting up. Is there a word for that when you're doing up and down and up and down? We need more words in the English language. We need a word for that when we're going up and down several times. Or maybe the word exists. Put it in the comment section if there's a better word than prayer to describe somebody going up and down, up and down, up and down. And they go on Hajj. Nabeel Qureshi's father went on Hajj, served in the United States Navy. His father loved America enough to serve in the Navy. And so Ahmadiyyas are Muslims because they do those things. They memorize the sounds of the Quran. I've seen a documentary where they show an Ahmadiyya child. He was like four years old about, and his parents were trying really hard. He lived in Britain. And his parents were getting him to memorize the sounds of the Quran. I did not say memorize the Quran because if you don't know what you're saying, is it really memorizing? If you just know the sounds but you don't know what they mean. So they are Muslims. For those of you who have no clue about Ahmadiyya, it's named after Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. Ahmadiyya. And he was born in the 1800s, and believed that he was like the second coming of Jesus was a coming of the ideas or principles or spirit, but not a physical coming, and that he fulfilled that. Nabeel Qureshi died from stomach cancer less than a few years ago. It's still very recent. I think it's definitely been less than 4 years ago. And how did he end up becoming a Christian? The reason he ended up becoming a Christian is I find very sad. But he at university had a friend named David Wood. And David Wood and Nabeel Qureshi were on a debating club or debating team And when they went out of town for debates, they did not want to go get drunk at bars or whatever other kinds of stuff the other people on the debate team were doing. And so they were at their hotel room together and they talked. They talked about religion. One reason I feel sorry for Nabeel Qureshi is he learned Christianity from David Wood. And David Wood is not a good, accurate source of Christianity. Maybe I should make a whole video about what I think about him. But Nabeel was dragging his feet. One thing that David Wood said, that studying so he could confront Nabeel and help Nabeel change was one of his motivations to study Islam so much. And David Wood knows a lot about Islam. He knows a lot of Hadith, which is Islam. And let's see. So Nabeel, the Trinity is what his hang-up was. The Trinity. And he was at a university class about chemistry, and the professor said something like that the element or smaller piece of the element has the same characteristics as the bigger piece of the element or bigger grouping of it, or something like that. Small piece of the element or small piece of matter has the same characteristics as a bigger piece of matter if it's the same molecules. And that's when something clicked in his head and he decided that he would become a Christian. And I do think of Nabeel Qureshi as a fellow Christian. I'm not one of those ridiculous buttheads. Shall I say that? Is that too vulgar to call them that? Less effective people who require you to agree with them about a big long list. I mean, you need to agree with them about everything, a book this thick, before they'll call you a fellow Christian. I'm not one of those people. I've got a short list of what makes you a Christian, and Nabeel meets all those, he checks off everything on the list. And let's see. And that is what got Nabeel to become a Christian. And one book he wrote about his experience and understanding and beliefs was, this book he wrote after he became a Christian, Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus. I have not read that book. It's low on my list of priorities. I've seen a lot of videos that Nabeel spoke at, his videos where he was speaking. And I think I've got a pretty good idea of what he thought about things from that. And there's so many other books that are a higher priority for me. Now, when it comes to Nabeel Qureshi and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which I am a member of, he didn't talk about us a lot. One time I saw him make one little comment that just showed he didn't really understand us. But he didn't get into any detail. So I'm a little bit sad about that. We're not that hard to understand. We love Jesus Christ. We want to follow him. We expect great blessings from our Father in heaven and Jesus Christ after final judgment if we have been faithful in this life. Alright. What would I have said to Nabeel if I had gotten a time machine and went back and talked to him before he decided to become a Christian based on something that is not in the Bible, not biblical? If you're hesitant about becoming a Christian, and the people that are trying to convince you to become a Christian call themselves Trinitarians, I commend you. They are not teaching you the truth. And you're maybe better off waiting until you find true Christianity instead of false Christianity. But the Trinity, what most people mean when they say the Trinity, most believers in that mean is several creeds written hundreds of years after the Bible that are a mixture of truth and error. I'm not calling the Apostles' Creed, which was not written by the Apostles, and the Athanasian Creed and the Nicene Creed, I'm not calling those pure 100% evil, opposite of the truth. There's a mixture of truth and error in there. If the devil gets you a little bit off course, he's got you off course, and that's his goal. So, I would want to say to old Nabeel, if I could get in a time machine, and he's hearing this right now because there are missionaries in the spirit world trying to teach the people, so if somebody did not get a chance in this life, they will get a chance in the spirit world to accept the truth. And God will decide if Nabeel Qureshi had enough chances in this life. I have no comment on that subject. So, I would have said to old Nabeel, those creeds are not a fundamental of Christianity. They're not the truth. I would say to old Nabeel while he was still dragging his feet, good job, old Nabeel. Well, if I went in a time machine, it would just be, he would think of himself as Nabeel and not old Nabeel. I don't think of myself as old Hammond right now, but in 40 years from now, I would say, old me. Yeah, so I would congratulate him on that. I'm very sad that he was dragging his feet on becoming a Christian because of something that's false. Something that is a part of apostatized Christianity and not the truth. And I worry that Nabeel, and one reason I'm making this video, the idea, and I was debating about making this video, came to my mind, that maybe there's somebody who will end up watching this video who is thinking like Nabeel was thinking. There's some things you like about Christianity, but you've got the same hang-ups and reasons you don't want to become a Christian that old Nabeel had. Alright, so I covered that. Yep, so it's very sad. What the Bible says about Jesus Christ and Father in heaven is true. And it does not say they are of one substance. It does not say they have one body. Jesus Christ says he and his Father are one. He did not say one physically. He just said one. So we need to look at everything else to understand. And we see our Father in heaven and Jesus Christ in two separate places on multiple occasions. And Jesus Christ praying the Father in heaven. They were not deceitfully throwing a hologram out there or some other trickery against the person that was seeing both of them, or hearing both of them. They really were, both of them, in different places. And Jesus Christ was not praying to himself and talking to himself when he prayed. So they have their own bodies. They are one in a sense of unity and purpose, goals, love, what they want to do for us. And that's good stuff, by the way. That is how they are one. So I worry that old Nabeel, and somebody who watches this video now who's thinking like old Nabeel was, I worry that you think that there is, that your options are believing the Greek and Roman pantheon of Zeus having tons of affairs on Hera and making Hercules and many others, and a Greek god who's a drunkard, and a Greek god who is the god of the thieves and is a thief, and that stuff. I'm worried you're thinking your options are that. I'm not sure about the Hindu gods doing as much bad stuff as the Greek gods. Maybe you're thinking that's... Maybe that falls in the same category. And one being. I worry old Nabeel had this false dichotomy. You got to choose this or one being. Even though that's not biblical to say one being. Jesus Christ and Father in heaven and Holy Ghost clearly are three distinct beings. here is a third option, and it's the truth. Our Father in heaven and Jesus Christ and the Holy Ghost are one in not a physical sense. So you're not being a polytheist praying to multiple gods or saints or something like that. If you believe they have their own beings, and so maybe one way to understand this is we use that word one to describe groups in all over the world in many languages. Think of sports. One team. Who won the latest NBA championship? Well, there was none in my heart. NBA, the NBA is lying about police officers. There was no championship. But a few years ago, when people who had class and were not lying, not committing race crime hoaxes, were winning NBA championships, did we say that, Michael Jordan won the championship? No, the whole team did. Did the Los Angeles Lakers, or did Magic Johnson win the championship? The Lakers did. The whole team did it. They were one. There's a variety of sports where there's a team sport. We say that whole volleyball team won. We don't say, well, that one striker on the team, she won it, and the rest of the team was losers, and there's one person that won. No, the whole team won. They're one. It's not a perfect metaphor, because Father in heaven and Jesus Christ are sinless and don't have human jealousies. But that's like the best we're going to get out of our human condition, to find something to compare with, to understand how Father in heaven and Jesus are one, but they are separate beings. Military. We describe whole militaries, winning battles, losing battles, winning wars, losing wars, or whole entire military units that won a battle, lost a battle. We use a singular noun, army, to describe Patton's Third Army. And that was not one individual person or one individual tank. It was many people that was in Patton's Third Army. Well, no, army, singular word. They were one. Not a perfect metaphor with Father in heaven and Jesus Christ, because they were out to kill people, although considering they were killing Nazis, it was good killings. But the members of Patton's Third Army had human sins, weaknesses, jealousies, and Father in heaven and Jesus Christ don't have those. But since we don't have any perfect, sinless groups of people on the earth, we're going to have to find metaphors where we're comparing groups of sinful people who are together in some way, like an army, like a sports team, to understand Father in heaven and Jesus Christ a little better, at least to try to explain it and drive that point home. So, thank you for watching. Now you know what I would have said to old Nabeel Qureshi. If you are thinking like he was, I hope these words have been helpful to you. To learn the truth about Jesus Christ, come to his church, churchofjesuschrist.org. And again, my sincere condolences to the Qureshi family for the loss of their husband, father, son. Did you have siblings? Your sibling? Yeah, I said brother, didn't I? Yeah. All right. Have a good day.